contribute to our topics, have any questions, or just want to tell us what an amazing job we're doing, you can reach out to us at 6364252164. Now let's jump right into it. Today's topic is impacts of social media on the youth today. So we have a special guest for the show, Johan, who's a
Yeah,
staff member here at FEBA. It's indeed a pleasure to have you on the show.
yes. Thank you so much. Yeah. Johan,
Yeah.
Johan. Yeah. Yeah.
So, for this edition of the Reality Bank, Johan and I will be having a discussion regarding the impacts of social media on the youth and give you
Mm,
guys a better viewpoint on this topic. So, my
mm,
first question is, how do you think social media impacts your overall well being?
mm. I mean, since we both grew up in the generation of internet, right? So we literally
Yeah,
grew up in the internet. So I think, I think social media, it's almost it's and right now it's become like it's addictive, right? Because
yeah,
initially social media was considered as a like a platform where they could meet and communicate. From that, it ended up becoming a place where it became like a community where people were sharing whatever they wanted to, like Reddit became, and then you had places like Twitter where
yeah,
people were just ranting on whatever they felt like, and that today Twitter has become the most toxic place, right, in social media. And like that, I think social, just like anything else, I think social media also has evolved, and as much as it evolved, it also has its pros and cons. I think as a social media, as a platform where it was meant for just communicating. Right now, it has become a place where you can express any kind of art form if you want to. You can, it can be considered as a place for marketing. It can be considered a place where you can create a business. People are making a living literally out of social media, right? So I think
yeah,
if you look at it, like, as much as people are saying social media is toxic, yeah, I mean, yeah, it is toxic. There is a lot of like cons to social media, but also you need to remember, like, I think just like anything else, if you know to use social media the right way, I think it's something that can benefit each and every one of us, because it's a source of, it's become a place of where you can get information also, right, easily.
yeah,
And social media is so accessible, right, compared to comparatively. So I think because the accessibility is so much more, I think, like, it has its benefit, but also its cons. Just like, I think, the one of the major problem is how inadequate we feel, right, by looking at other people's posts and other people's life. But the irony is that, I mean, I don't want to say it, but their lives is not as fantastic as they're portraying it on social media, right?
exactly.
It's just like one small bit of their life that they're showing, but their life is not as, it's pretty much like anyone else's. So, but looking at that small bit, and we feel like we are missing out something in our life, and we feel like, we are not, like, when you see other people's achievement itself on social media, and that itself breaks us apart, where we don't feel like getting up and doing what we want. And I think stuff like this, I think it will, it breaks us down, where it's hard for us to see other people do good, and for us to start being being good at what we itself are. It's not, it becomes demotivating, I think, social media at
Yeah.
one point. So I feel like, just like anything else, social media has its pros, has its cons, but if you use it the right way, I think it'll be beneficial, and it can destroy us as well. What do you think of it?
Well, for me, like as you said, it does demotivate people. Like, let's just say a person is at a very low place, like a low
Mm,
point in his or her life. Now, you scroll down social media and you see like all these influencers. They have like in I quote like perfect kind of lives. Now,
mm,
of course, it's not perfect. Like but it's pictured to us like they are living the perfect life. Like, why can't we live life like them? Like, what do we have to
mm,
do to get something like that? So, in that search to get the similar life like what they are living, like so many people end up destroying themselves, like they destroy the images, and yeah,
mm,
that
mm,
leads to really negative stuff.
mm.
But of
Yeah.
course it does have its benefits and all, but you should learn to take it in a different kind of way and not a literal sense like how their life is.
Mm. But that
So
itself is difficult, right? Like,
yeah.
looking at the good side of social media also is so difficult, I feel. So
Exactly.
I think that is a difficult thing, which I don't think you can get help. Like, I don't think anyone can help you with that. I think that is something you yourself have to see the good side of social media, but it's also very difficult, I feel. to look at the good
Exactly.
side of it.
Exactly. Now, speaking about the negative side, now, does social media have a negative impact on a person's mental health?
I think it depends on how much they are using, so the like how important social media has become in part of their life. I mean, if someone is not in, so I mean, if someone's not using social media much except for communication purpose or whatever, I don't know how much it might. But if you're really sitting in your phone 24/7, you're just scrolling down, looking at content over and over, and because social media is so accessible, and when you're scrolling through all of it, it's you and your phone, right? And
Yeah,
I think the best way to keep one of the best thing about to keep your mental health is to keep it healthy is to surround yourself with people. The moment you isolate yourself, that itself messes up you mentally. And the moment you have your phone in your hand, and then you're seeing other people doing good, and you are seeing other people achievement, and you're seeing other people happy, of course it breaks people down. It's very
yeah,
it's very scary when you're just sitting alone in the room, and you have so much like, because social media is so accessible, everything is so instantly you can see, and it is scary to see such instant information as well. So yeah, it
exactly.
can definitely affect mental health, but also I think it depends on how much you are using. I know so many of my friends who tell this, and they're trying to stop using social media, and there's like a certain timing after evening they stop using it. So I think I don't know how much it's helping, but I think they feel like they're saying it's improving their mental health, in many ways. So do you agree to that? Like, it depends on how you use it.
Yeah, it depends on how you use it, and it so there's this thing algorithm kind of wise. So it depends on like what kind of content you view, and like the algorithm tells you like, okay, fine, you like this type of content. Now we are going to,
Mm,
push this kind of content onto you. So if you like something motivational or something like that, now the algorithm is going to push that kind of content to you. So let's just say you're having a low point in your life, as I was talking earlier. Now watching this
mm,
content is not going to, demotivate you or anything, and it's in fact going to give you more motivation to, work harder and, better your life and come out of that state. So it
mm,
can have its positive impacts, but again, it depends on like what you're usually, viewing.
mm. I think it depends on the people's mind as well. I mean, if you're seeing
Exactly.
something and if it's motivating you, great. But that's I don't know how much it motivates. I've seen people getting demotivated more than getting motivated.
Yeah, it's all about the mind actually. It's kind of like a mind game, but not literally. Just it's a battle of the mind. So
Yeah,
you know how they say like the war is won only if your mind is right. If your mind is quite strong, that's how you win the war. So there's a lot of concern like regarding social media safety. Now
yeah.
in this, especially this world of artificial intelligence, now is social media really safe?
I don't know. I don't know. I can see why a lot of people have problem with AI, but then also, I am someone who did not react to AI like the way everyone else did. I feel like it's like when internet came, everyone. I think artists were hating it because the moment Napster came, you could download songs for free, and you had musicians who were filing case against Napster because we are putting all this effort, and you're just selling the music for free. And but look at it now, it's like it's still musicians are making music despite knowing that they can get it on internet, and they know it's free, but so they have to figure out, when it comes to like financial whatever, like being successful or financially stable, they know like just selling their like selling putting out music is not going to be enough. They need to do a lot more than that, so they have figured out ways. They know that, okay, fine, internet is there, the music will come out free for me. Now I have to figure out different way where I can keep myself financially stable, or where I can sustain the band as well. So I feel like AI also, it's so new, it's become new to us, right? I feel like AI is the next
Yeah,
big thing that's happened ever since internet. So I feel like it's so new to us that it's scary to see what and all AI can do. I mean, when you see like all these like face morphing itself of celebrities, right? And
yeah,
it is so scary to see. That's why, like, I think at the moment, like, we are finding it very scary, but I think eventually we'll just get. I feel like it's just going to be normal, because I feel like AI is not. I don't think AI is completely bad. I feel like if you know to use it the right way, I think AI can be very useful as well. I mean, like this thing of a lot of like artists itself who are like going again, like who are trying to cancel AI, right? But I feel like
Yeah,
they're not against AI, but how AI can be misused, like people using AI and commercially making money out of it. But but I remember like someone in this one person who's working in AI itself. She said in one podcast that if you give all this information to five artists, they're gonna come up with five different artworks. But you tell AI the same thing five times, it's gonna come up with the same thing five times. So
yeah,
it's
exactly.
basically, yeah, it's basically collection of information that's there, and through that it's basically coming up with ChatGPT and all the other things. It's a collection of information of other people, of whatever is available in the internet, that it's coming out with the content. But that is, I think, will become a challenge, I feel, in the future for people, which I'm sure we will as the years go by, we'll figure out the solution how to solve this issue as well, how AI can take over. But I don't think it's completely bad. I don't look at it that way.
Yeah, you're right about that. But then again, you spoke about the misuse of AI. It has taken place, like like this new kind of thing. So there's models who are there now.
Mm.
There's this whole new thing called AI models,
Yeah, yeah, I know.
and like there's so many people who give money to these AI models,
Mm.
and a lot of bank frauds have taken place because the people who are behind these AI models are actually guys, and they use AI to a huge degree. So when money is transferred, they get the bank details, they get all of that information which is supposed to be classified.
Mm.
Now they use this information and they come, like, pick out loans in this person's name using these kind of digits.
Mm.
And later, like, I don't know, maybe a year later or two later, like, they find out, like, okay, such a lot of money is taken out in their name and they have to pay it. They have no clue who has taken it. So a lot of
Mm.
frauds are taking place, but then again, that's quite minute compared to the benefits. But as I said, if a person knows how to use AI quite well, it could either be the greatest thing or it could be the worst thing. It can go either way.
No, no. The thing is, like, see, when internet also came out, like, because internet came, I think the fact that you can hack someone's computer itself would becomes a lot easier. So that was a
Exactly.
problem that people were sitting and complaining about. But today, like, I mean, it's still happening. People are still,
Yeah.
just one email ID is enough for them to hack an entire computer system. So just like how when internet came, the problems that people were misusing internet. I feel like there are people like that who are going to misuse AI itself. You saw in Mission Impossible, right? The new part. The
Yeah,
main villain itself is an artificial intelligence in that new part.
exactly.
So yeah. I mean, just like how internet was a scary thing, I think AI also will have its disadvantages because of how much can be done in AI. But I think it's this people will. I feel like for our generation, because it's new to us, we're finding it scary. But later on, the next generation, I think they'll be born in the generation of AI. So I feel like for us also, understanding AI is so difficult because we have such negative perception about AI. But maybe things will solve and get better. Let's hope for that.
Yeah, definitely. Now, there's a saying like social media can make or break a person. We have seen that in like various Twitter feeds. We have seen that on YouTube. We have seen that on Instagram. Now, is this actually true?
Yeah, like I feel like it is much difficult to make the whole world like you than hate you. And, it might take you a lot of time for the whole world to win your heart, but then it can take you one like it can take you one tweet for your entire career to get over. You know what happened to Kanye West, right? For
Exactly.
20 years, this man was like a legend in the music industry, and one tweet, his career was down. He got cancelled so badly, he lost his billionaire status. So
And he lost so
can
many,
break.
like, millions of dollars with this easy deal.
Yeah, he lost his billionaire status. I think Adidas also cut ties with him.
Yeah,
A lot of celebrities stop, cut ties with Kanye West towards the end. So yeah, I mean, it can. I feel like it more than make a person, it can break a person a lot easier. Yeah, I
exactly.
feel.
So I'll give you an example. So there's this, I don't know, very controversial YouTuber or streamer, if you'd like to say, like by the name of Jack Doherty. Now, this dude, he, of course, like as you said earlier, it's easy to, make the world hate you than make the world like you. And there's a lot of people who use this to their benefit. So he just goes around like hiding behind his bodyguard, and he just gets into all sorts of like, fights and really hot take debates and all of that. And the views that are just getting flooded to his channel and his streams are like crazy. He's just using it to his whole advantage. Of course, he's a, like, I won't say he's a good person. He's by far the worst person ever in like in a teenage year. And there are also like streamers by the name of Neon who also do the same thing. They make people hate you so much that people just can't, stay away from watching you, in other words.
Like the biggest thing was also was Andrew Tate, right, doing social media.
Yeah,
I mean, what that guy became, and the fact that such misogynistic thinking this guy has, and there was everyone was hating on him. But the sad part in this is that there are so many guys who think the exact same way he thinks. So that's why I think he got the right, he knew this, and the right market. He captured the right market. But then again, it after getting caught with all the issues that he ended up getting caught with, it completely, he's cancelled. So it can build a person. I think it's going to take a lot of time for you to build a reputation in social media, but then it can just take you, Twitter can tear you down once. Because I feel like more than liking, people love doing all these hate comments on
exactly.
social media, right? And I don't know, I feel like it's like one comment, it gives them some level of dopamine, I think.
Yeah,
And the thing is, most of these people, because social media, like, you don't have to show your face, it's just typing, so they will type whatever they feel like typing, and try being asked, right, whatever horrible things they want to a person. So
exactly.
just like you're talking about how AI has its disadvantages. Social media, as much as it's evolved, it's equally become toxic as well, just like anything else.
Yeah, now speaking about this toxic thing, now how does social media affect the
Young generation, as in, you mean like our generation or the next upcoming generation?
well, our generation is definitely crossed about 20. So let's just talk about like early our generation and the next generation as well.
I think, see, our generation, we grew up in the era of social media, right? So
Yeah,
there's a part where I feel like, as much as millennials keep complaining about our generation, that we are so addicted to this and that. I mean, yeah, that's that. But I also feel like we understand the social media a lot better. I actually believe that. So I feel like, we understand the internet a lot more also, I believe. But just like how we are scared of AI, the next generation, I truly believe they'll understand AI a lot better than we understand AI. So
exactly.
like, we spoke about mental health, we spoke about how social media can isolate you, and and it can mentally put you in such a bad place. So yeah, these where you will feel very inadequate about yourself, seeing other people's success. So, and also cyberbullying, and I think we didn't talk about cyberbullying, because
Exactly.
that's another thing, right? Like, how people get harassed, and it's so much easier to put a person down through social media than anywhere else, because it's just, you can just say one thing and put them down. Like, in a few years back in US, one this happened in a university, in a hostel, where one guy hid a camera in one room, and he leaked out that video of one of his roommates, or one of his batchmates or something. It was really bad what happened to that guy. And it reached a point where he got bullied. It spread out throughout the university, the video, and that guy ended up committing suicide towards the end. So, until today, the guy who leaked out the video, his parents are still fighting for him in court. But you can't deny the fact what that guy did towards the end. You can't even justify what he has done.
Exactly.
So I don't I feel like it's so easy to put a person down through just words, bigger. So I think the cyberbullying is something with AI. I think it's gonna get a lot more worse. I feel it's already happening. I think it might get a lot worse. But I also feel like I don't think we have to worry about the next generation of people. I know for me, I personally feel like they'll understand all this a lot better than us. I feel like we have reached like our generation also has reached a certain point where AI is new to us because we are so used to internet and social media, internet and social media. So I don't know how much we have to worry. Do you think the generation has to worry about
Well,
social media?
honestly, like just seeing how his generation is developing like very very fast. Like our generation could understand the internet better than the previous generation, and the new generation can understand it much more easier compared to us.
Yeah.
So the way everything is developing so quickly, like I won't be surprised if like they find a positive aspect. Right now it's quite negative. I won't say it's like all sunshine and rainbows. It is quite
Mm.
negative at the point, but
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised if the new generation, or perhaps like somebody from our generation, can find a solution to this. I hope they do, because it would make it better. It would make it more positive rather than like mostly negative. So
Yeah.
I hope it does.
But then I feel like stuff like isolating yourself and you looking at other people's Instagram and just feeling you put yourself down. You feel like you haven't you feel very left out and feel so isolated, seeing like you haven't done something that they have done. Those things, I think, more than technology, it's just the mind, no. So
Exactly, because like, see, if I see somebody success, like just take somebody from my friend group. If I see them at a very high point in life and I'm still at still at this point, I'm not
mm,
gonna be like, okay, we were together and like he has reached a point and I'm here and I'm gonna be all depressed and all of that. That's not gonna change the fact that he's still there and I'm still here. So
mm,
in fact, like I'm gonna like it's all part of the mind. So I'm gonna work more harder to get to his level, or if not better than his level. So
mm,
that's how it creates that motivation. But
mm.
as I said, it's all part of the mind. It's how you train your mind to cope with these kind of situations.
But also, like, if you know a person, like if you know a friend, like if you know him in person and you know how much he succeeded, you also will know that dude, how much he struggled probably in his career.
Exactly. Yeah.
And in social media you will just see the success and but the reality is they themselves might have had their own difficult times to come to where they are today, which that part will they obviously they don't want, they would not share, right? So when you just
Yeah.
see the success part, it's very scary to see. But then when you yourself try putting effort and you find that it's not easy to reach that place, it's very difficult. And you feel when you see the other person, you'll be like, that person has reached so far, why is it so difficult for me? The reality is they also have struggled like us, but just they're not telling. So I think as the social media, I don't know, I don't want to say it'll blind you, but definitely nobody would like to say the difficulties, right? They would obviously want to put out the good things in their life, but that can put other person down, feel like,
Exactly.
why is my life not this interesting here? But their life is like any other life.
Yeah, coming back to that now, Usain Bolt, he did say a similar quote. I've trained 4 years to come first in like under 10 seconds to get the 100-meter record. And most people, like, they train in 3 months, they don't see results and they quit. So
Mm,
then he clearly talks about that struggle, like how it took him like 4 years. And of course,
yeah.
a lot of dieting, a lot of training had to go through it
Mm,
just to run for that 10 seconds.
yeah.
And many people, they don't even want to go through hell to get the reward. They just want the reward without going through hell. So
Mm, yeah,
that
that
really needs to change.
yeah, and also feel like people need to openly also talk about how difficult their career has been,
Exactly.
so that they can also understand it's not just all beds of roses, the everything in a career. So I think as much as people talk, I think if people are also very open about how much the struggles in their career, I think it will people will understand, it's not as easy as well. uh, I mean, I'm like, when I see an artist and I see their artwork, I'm just blown away by how good their artwork is. And and my work is nowhere close to that artist. But then like you need to also know that artist, it took that artist 10 years of practice, effort and consistency to come to where they have come. So also the like the difficulty, I know how much people sit and talk about it. They do, of course they do, a lot of people do. But if they, it's very difficult also to open up about the struggles of their career. But I feel like even if they do genuinely, I feel like people will also not have a perception. The it's amazing as well. There is difficulties, I think, which people will understand much more.
Exactly. So they need to be more open about it. Like, I had to go through hell just to get to where I am today. And what you're seeing is the result of me going through all that hell. You don't just get it like in a snap of finger or rubbing a lamp and a genie comes out. None of that.
Mm, mm,
So that officially brings us to the end of today's show. A huge thank you to Johan for joining today's show.
mm. Thank you so much, Johan.
So remember, guys, we air on Mondays at 4:30 p.m. That said, if you guys want to contribute to our topics, have anything to say, or just want to tell us what an amazing job we're doing, you can reach out to us at 6364252164. And a huge thank you to our listeners for tuning in to this edition of The Reality Bang, your weekly dose of your power, brought to you by FEBA Online. This is RJ Johan. Hope you have an amazing week, and I'll see you next Monday. God bless you.
Bye. Nice. I hope it went well, the whole thing.
Yeah, so my camera did not cut off, right?
Hmm. No, it was all cool.
Oh,
Did it
thank
stop
God.
the live? I'm just wondering.
Wait, I think it's still live.
Okay.